Welcome to Coin Collector's World, the ultimate place where every coin tells a story, every detail matters, and every collector feels at home. If you love rare coins, minting mysteries, and the thrill of hidden treasures, then you're in the right place. Today, we're uncovering one of the most surprising stories in American coin history. The 1984 United States of America 1-cent penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it's a simple copper-colored penny, something we've all held hundreds of times. But what if I told you that one of these tiny coins could be worth a small fortune? Yes, this ordinary-looking penny hides a secret that has made collectors across the world stop and look twice. Let's go back to the year 1984. Ronald Reagan was president, the U.S. economy was booming, and the U.S. Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln pennies for everyday USE.by that time. Pennies were no longer made from solid copper. Since 1982, the mint had switched to a cheaper composition, a core of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. To the naked eye, nothing changed. But beneath the surface, this shift in materials and minting technology opened the door to small but significant minting errors. The 1984 penny with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility that traditionally doesn't include a mint mark on its coins. So, the no mint mark itself isn't unusual. But what makes some 1984 pennies extraordinary is a rare minting error that collectors call the doubled ear variety. This error is visible right on Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If you look closely at his ear with a magnifying glass or under bright light, you might notice a faint second earlobe, almost like a shadow, a perfect doubling created during the coin's production. So how did this happen? During the minting process, a steel die, engraved with the coin's design, strikes the blank metal disc to create the image. Sometimes, the die itself shifts slightly or is impressed twice at a different angle. When that happens, it creates what's called a doubled die, and every coin struck from that die carries the same doubling pattern. These minting errors are extremely rare because the U.S. Mint usually catches and destroys defective dies. But in 1984, a few slipped through. Those coins found their way into circulation, mixed with ordinary pennies, quietly passing through millions of hands, hiding their secret in plain sight. Now, let's talk about why collectors love this coin so much. The 1984 doubled ear penny isn't just about the mistake, it's about the story it tells. It's a moment in minting history frozen in time. The fact that such an error occurred after decades of advanced technology makes it fascinating for experts and new collectors alike. When it comes to value, condition is everything. Coins that have been in circulation, scratched, worn, or dull, are still worth more than face value, but not nearly as much as pristine, uncirculated examples, those rare, untouched pennies that show a clear doubled ear, especially ones graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can command prices that make collectors' hearts race. And yes, people really have found these in circulation. Stories from collectors tell of finding one in a jar of old coins, or tucked away in forgotten rolls bought from a bank decades ago. Imagine searching through hundreds of pennies, and then spotting that faint doubling under the light, realizing you're holding a piece of history that could be worth thousands. Even more exciting is how easy it is to check. All you need is good lighting, a magnifier, and a sharp eye. Look at the date, 1984, then carefully study Lincoln's ear. If you see what looks like an extra earlobe or doubling under his ear, you might have struck gold. Well, copper and zinc gold. The design of this coin remains one of America's most iconic. The strong image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the majestic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, together, they represent freedom, leadership, and the enduring legacy of a nation. And that's what makes this coin not only valuable, but meaningful. Think about it, a simple penny, something most people overlook, can tell such a powerful story. It reminds us that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones hiding in plain sight. Every collector knows that the thrill isn't just in the money, it's in the discovery. It's in the excitement of holding history between your fingers, knowing you found something very few people ever will. So before you spend or trade away your old change, take a closer look. Your next treasure might be sitting right there in your wallet, your drawer, or that old jar of coins from childhood. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, how much is this tiny treasure really worth? Depending on its condition, the clarity of the doubling, and its certification. Some examples of the 1984 no mint mark doubled ear penny have been sold for as much as $40,000. Today, We are diving deep into the fascinating story of one small but mighty coin, the United States of America 1-cent penny from the year 1985 with no mint mark. It's one of those coins that looks completely ordinary to most people, yet within the world of collectors, it holds a reputation that's anything but ordinary. Imagine this. You're sorting through your old coins, maybe counting your change, and you see a 1985 penny. It's brownish red, slightly shiny, and on the surface, it seems like just another Lincoln cent. But what if I told you that one of these tiny coins, this humble piece of metal that says, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars? That's right. This simple coin could be hiding a treasure right in plain sight. Let's start from the beginning. The 1985 penny continues the classic design of Abraham Lincoln's portrait, created by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, standing tall and majestic, a design used from 1959 all the way to 2008. Each column and detail was carefully engraved to reflect the pride and power of American history. Now here's the key part, the mint mark. Most coins have a small letter under the date to show where they were made. You might see a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or sometimes, no letter at all. When you see no mint mark on your 1985 penny, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Usually, that alone doesn't make a coin valuable. Philadelphia coins are quite common, but in some cases, the absence of a mint mark combined with unique minting characteristics makes these coins extremely special. During the minting process, thousands of coins are struck every minute. But sometimes, even with advanced machinery, small errors happen, and those small mistakes create rare varieties that collectors crave. For the 1985 penny with no mint mark, some of the most valuable versions include double die obverse, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and weak strikes that make details look slightly blurred or distorted. Each of these variations tells a story of imperfection, and in the coin world, imperfection often means rarity, and rarity means money. When you're checking your 1985 pennies, pay close attention to the details. Examine the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1985. Look closely for doubling, extra thickness, or shadow-like outlines around the letters. Sometimes the doubling is so faint that only a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can reveal it. On the reverse side, look at the Lincoln Memorial, the steps, the columns, the tiny statue of Lincoln inside, because doubling or misalignment here can add to the coin's value. Another important factor is the condition of your coin. Collectors grade coins based on their appearance and level of wear. A circulated coin that's been used in everyday transactions will show scratches, dull color, or worn-out features. But an uncirculated or mint-state coin, one that has sharp details, a clean surface, and original luster, is what truly excites collectors and drives up the price. The better the condition, the higher the value. Now, let's talk about value. Over the years, professional coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have received thousands of 1985 pennies for evaluation. Most of them are worth only face value or slightly more. But a few rare ones, especially those in mint state condition with unique errors, have shocked the coin community. These rare 1985 no-mint mark pennies have sold for incredible amounts in private auctions and collector markets. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that millions of people have ignored for 40 years, yet one that's been carefully preserved, untouched, with a small but noticeable minting difference. Imagine sending it to be graded, getting the results back, and learning that your 1-cent coin is now valued in the thousands. It's the kind of story that keeps collectors searching, keeps enthusiasts excited, and proves that treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. The next time you come across a penny dated 1985 with no mint mark, don't dismiss it as pocket change. Set it aside, take a good look under bright light, and inspect every detail. The truth is, you might be holding one of the most desirable Lincoln cents of the 1980s. And now for the most amazing part of this story. One of the finest known examples of the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny, in flawless mint condition and displaying a rare minting variety, has been valued at an astonishing $35,000. Have you ever picked up a simple penny from your wallet and thought, it's just 1 cent, what could it possibly be worth? Well, what if I told you that a small copper-colored coin from 2006, made in the Denver Mint, could actually be hiding a secret that turns it into a rare collector's treasure worth thousands of dollars? Today we're going to explore the fascinating story of the United States of America 1-cent penny with the 2006 D Mint mark, a coin that looks completely ordinary but carries an extraordinary surprise. The Lincoln penny is one of the most recognized coins in the world. It has been in continuous production since 1909, featuring the face of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. On the obverse side, you'll see his portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, a true symbol of American history. On the reverse, the coin from 2006 still carried the image of the Lincoln Memorial, before it was replaced by the shield design in 2010. That means this penny belongs to the very end of an era, one of the last Lincoln Memorial designs ever made. Now let's talk about the mint mark, that tiny letter D just below the date. It tells us the coin was made at the Denver Mint in Colorado, one of the most productive mints in the United States. Billions of pennies were struck there that year, over 4.2 billion, to be exact. With so many coins produced, you might think they're all identical. But here's where things get really interesting. Not all coins come out perfectly. Even with modern minting technology, tiny errors can happen, and those small differences can turn a 1-cent coin into something worth thousands. Among collectors, these error coins are pure gold. Some 2006 D pennies have been found with doubling on the letters of Liberty or In God We Trust. Others show off-center strikes, plating bubbles, or a misaligned die. In a normal coin, those would be flaws, but in the world of numismatics, those flaws are exactly what make them valuable. Imagine holding a coin that accidentally came out slightly misaligned or with a doubling effect that the average eye might miss. To collectors, that's like holding a piece of minting history, a snapshot of the exact moment when something went unexpectedly right, or wrong, inside the minting press. But condition matters too. A heavily circulated penny might only be worth a few cents more than its face value. However, a 2006 D penny in brilliant uncirculated condition, the kind that looks as if it just left the mint, with no scratches or wear, can fetch big money. Coins graded at higher levels by professional services such as PCGS or NGC are the ones that reach the real premium values. Now, what truly excites collectors are the extremely rare 2006 D pennies with unique mint errors, the ones that stand out from the billions of normal coins. Some of these coins have been found with doubled dies, die cracks, and even incomplete planchets, small imperfections that happen during the minting process. These rare varieties are what turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. So, before you toss your spare change into a jar or vending machine, take a second to look closely at your pennies. Check the date. Look for that small D mint mark under 2006. Hold it up under the light, inspect the words carefully, and pay attention to the color and shine. Sometimes even the smallest difference, a misplaced letter, a slightly thicker rim, or a faint doubling, can be the sign of something truly valuable. Coins like this are not just money, they are history in your hand. Every scratch, every shine, and every mint mark tells a story. And once you learn to spot those stories, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. And now comes the most exciting part of today's video. You might be wondering, how much could one of these rare 2006 D Lincoln cents actually be worth? Well, hold your breath, because one of these coins, found in top-grade condition with a minting error, was valued at an incredible $4,000. Thank you for joining us today on Coin Collector's World, where every episode brings you closer to the hidden value inside your pocket change. Remember to subscribe, like, and share so more collectors can join our growing community of treasure hunters. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never stop believing that the next coin you find could be the discovery of a lifetime. Until next time, this is Coin Collector's World, where coins tell stories and collectors make history.